Migration is another important factor to population change. In this lecture, we will examine migration principles, theories, migration factors, and transnationalism. This is important to geographers because migration can lead to the redistribution of people in a country or region and may alter its ethnic, linguistic, and religious composition. Not only can birth rates and death rates change the makeup of a population, but so can migration. Migration is the movement from one territorial or administrative unit to another associated with long-term or permanent change in residence. When people move out of an area, it is referred to as emigration or outmigration. And when people move into an area, it is referred to as immigration or in-migration. Therefore, net migration is the difference between the number of emigrants and immigrants in a particular area over a given period of time. Migration does not happen just in a linear sense from one place to another and stop. Migration can also occur in a circular fashion. For example, people in the northern climates may move to warmer places in the south during the winter months, but move back in the summer. In 1885, British demographer E.G. Ravenstein proposed the laws of migration that include the following 6 points. 1. Most migrations cover short distances and do not cross international lines. 2. Migration involves two opposite processes: dispersion, leaving the old, and absorption, arriving to the new. 3. Migration flows produce counterflows of people, knowledge, and resources. 4. Long-distance migrants prefer urban settings. 5. Rural residents tend to migrate more than urban residents. And 6. Women migrate more within their country, while men migrate more outside. Migration is not a decision that is made lightly, even though we have seen an increase in immigration, especially in the United States. There are many factors that are considered before someone moves. These factors are either push factors, which are unfavorable conditions or attributes of a place that encourage migration, or pull factors, which are favorable conditions or attributes of a place that attract migrants. Pause the video and read the factors contained in the diagrams. Sometimes migration is not a personal decision made by choice, as in someone who voluntarily moves, but a forced decision made by others. Forced migration is an insistence from someone that a person or group of people must relocate. Usually forced migration comes from a government or radical group forcing others to leave a particular area. A recent demonstration of forced migration is the Syrian people leaving Syria due to the occupation of ISIS in their country. In 1966, Everett Lee, a social scientist, developed a theory on migration after examining Ravenstein's principles. He came to the conclusion that migration was a decision-making process on personal perception. Lee identified 4 categories of factors that affect a person's decision to migrate. 1. Area of origin. What are the negative, positive, and/or neutral factors that shape a person's attachment to a place? 2. Area of destination. What are the negative, positive, and/or neutral factors that attract the person to a new place? 3. Intervening obstacles. What factors get in the way of a move, like cost, ability to get a passport, distance, do I have to sell things to get there? 4. Personal factors. Each decision to move is a personal decision. People take into account emotions, attitudes towards change, regrets, who is involved in the move, perceptions, do they have accurate information? Migration also creates transnationalism, the process by which immigrants develop and cultivate ties to more than one country, usually their home country and the host country. Ravenstein hinted at this when he noted that migrations trigger counterflows, which can be seen heavily in remittances. Remittances are financial and non-financial resources sent by immigrants to their home countries. In other words, sending money or other goods to family members back home. The map shows remittance inflows as a percentage of GDP. In Tajikistan in Central Asia, remittances are equivalent to nearly half the country's GDP. Also, the chart shows the top 5 remittance receiving countries in 2011. Another way to track transnationalism is when immigrants create political, social, or family-based ties that are rooted in values and practices of their home country, as shown in both photos. The photo on the left is a Brazilian bakery in Marietta, Georgia. And the photo on the right is a building in Paracanhuba, Brazil, which suggests that ideas about architecture may have been from Brazilians who lived in Georgia or other parts of the U.S. South. The United States has been a major destination country for migrants. Like numerous other countries, the U.S. has set limits to the number of immigrants that they admit. Before 1965, the U.S. set a preference for European immigrants, but with the Immigration and Nationality Act amendments of 1965, that changed to four category-based ceilings. These categories included 1. Family reunification, 2. Employment-based preference, 3. Protection for refugees, and 4. A diversity of immigrants by origin. In addition, the United States has authorized and unauthorized immigrants. Authorized immigrants are those legal permanent residents who hold valid green cards. These people could be guest workers. Unauthorized immigrants are those who are undocumented or illegal. These people could have been here on a valid visa, but the visa expired, or crossed the border without being detected. The chart shows the number of authorized immigrants admitted to the U.S. by region of origin since 1820. The sharp drop in immigration reflects the impact of the Depression and 2 world wars. The pie chart shows changes in the leading countries sending immigrants to the U.S. and the diversification of immigrant origins over time. Please pause the video and answer the following. Using these factors of migration, area of origin, area of destination, intervening obstacles, and personal factors, select a place, either in the U.S. or another country, that you want to migrate to, and describe the process you personally would go through with that move. In your own words, using the text as a guide, be thorough and specific with your answer.